We've all struggled with trying to put games away in a way that makes sense so that you can play them again faster. Let's see if an organizer will help with that. Hey, I'm Will. This is Carperment, and we're going to be taking a look at organizers, and specifically we're going to be building my first folded space organizer. Now, this is going to be for Praga Kaput Regni, which is a Vladimir Suchy game, and I have quite a collection behind me, and I think out of all the games I had, this is one that keeping everything organized and all the different tiles and things just seemed like it would make sense to have a proper organizer. Oh, excuse me, have a proper organizer. There's also a lot of constructed bits and pieces and castles and things that just didn't seem to fit well back in the box. And if you look at the overhead here, it is once you get the rule book out of the way here, it is just jam packed with stuff. It's pretty well level, and there's just so many little bits and pieces and tiles and baggies full of tiles, and each of these baggies of tiles are also separated into further separations for different eras of the game, and the starting tiles and not the starting tiles, and the S tiles, and it's just a mess. So I got myself a folded space organizer, and I've never really constructed one of these before. I am relatively handy with crafting tools, so let's see how it is to put these together, and I'll kind of give my thoughts afterwards on how easy it is to put together, and the skills and stuff required. Just doing a little bit of reading. I have some white glue here, although you could use hot glue. I have a kind of razor blade. This is not a box cutter, although it looks like one. There's actually a razor blade in here, or an X-Acto knife would help. Presumably you don't need any cutting, but I thought I would have some just in case. Same for a metal ruler and pencil for guidelines. Hopefully I won't need any of that. And of course, a surface to work on to not damage, whatever other play surface you have. So let's see, first of all, what this looks like. I'm, if anything, more excited to be able to play this game without as much of an arduous setup. Okay, so there's an edge folded over. You know what? I think this whole thing just slides out. Launch that behind me here. And it is tucked in like a giant envelope. Okay, what do we got here? Alright, compatible Praga Kaput Regni. Package contains 3 sheets, 2 identical and 1 different. After assembly, the trays are put into 2 layers in the original game box. PVA glue, which is the white glue, is required for assembly. Please make sure you dry assemble each tray correctly before gluing. Okay. So here are the 3 different boards. Everything seems punched out. There's a lot of little bits and pieces here. So let's put up here in case I need that. And what am I working on here? Let's see, 3B. This appears to be the front. Now, in terms of building things, I have not done any inserts, but I have done model building, Gundams, stuff like that. So, hopefully, IKEA furniture, hopefully my, building expertise will help with that. Although I have to admit, I'm not particularly handy. So it looks like first we are removing those specific, pieces, as shown in the grayed out part. I'm assuming that's what I'm supposed to do. And they kind of punch out. Oh, okay. They kind of punch out like a really thick board game would punch out. Now I know Fold Space has been working on colored coded stuff for future games, which I'm excited about. This is just one of their generic plain gray ones. So that appears to be everything I need from this piece. So step one is to take one of these things. It looks like we need to remove all the little inserts. Pop all these guys out. We'll have to time this afterwards using the magic of video editing and see how long exactly one of these things take to put together. And this is a pretty heavy game as far as components go. So, you know, it's a pretty good indication for larger games. You know, usually I just opt to either bagging things or using containers for stuff. You know, we'll give my review kind of afterwards. And if you're interested in seeing maybe a full video on storage types and organizational types, I might do something like that in the future. The question is going to be also, how much of this do I actually need the glue? Like, presumably not everything? Okay, this one first. So this is dry assemble first. Yep, we are this way. And like that. Okay. Again, I don't know how much of this I need to actually put on. Probably just the outer edges. And once I have these pieces in, I don't think they're going to go anywhere as long as I have the outer parts done. I think these are the tile holders. So that goes on there. And then, oh, I forgot the little guy. Okay, so those are all in like that. And then this one lines up. And just put everything inside. White glue is not too fast at drying, which is probably a good thing. My experience with hot glue is sometimes it dries so fast, if you're not careful, it'll be like kind of done before you get a chance to actually assemble things. Okay, and then this goes on the bottom. So I think that makes sense. What I'm going to be doing is just running a bead of glue around this edge, and that's probably all I need. Because once that's locked in, everything else will hold together. So let's, don't want to go too thick here. It's kind of good that if you're gluing the edges, presumably because they are foam, they provide a more of a rough surface, more tactile surface for the glue to stick to. Just sort of guessing, I'm assuming that will probably hold better. So there's a little bit of glue squishing out the sides here. It's probably normal. Let's use a tissue. Let's take some of that extra off. I kind of wish I had a clamp or something to hold this on, because it's not staying on super well, even though it is assembled well. So maybe I will put the box on top of it and hope I don't crush it. Okay, it's a lot of weight. We'll see how that goes. Well, that was pretty easy. Okay, so I've got another one of those to assemble. So let's go ahead and punch out the same thing. I don't know, maybe tell me in the comments if I should be gluing more of it than what I just did. You know, is that enough to hold it together? I think so, but I don't really have any experience with this. I will say the pieces are cut out really nicely. Like it's, they're all very clean edges. It's not like, you know, when you're punching in a board game and you get the little juncture point that's kind of holding it in, and that kind of gets stuck a little bit, and I might tear, infrequently, but it could definitely happen. Speaking of Tsuchi, and his ridiculous 3D structures, I was assembling the structures for Shipyard the other day, and that one definitely, even though it's cardboard, it did not fit back in the box, and probably also was totally unnecessary. But it looked cool when it was done, and they provided a very small amount of box lift. I had to kind of customize a little bit of foam to kind of keep it in, but thanks to that, it did end up holding together pretty well, and that was a-okay. So let's see, we are just going to do the same thing again here and insert. I'm glad they made these all the same, because I would never be able to, or I would, but it would be a lot more work to have to differentiate which one of these go where. And in case you're wondering, I did use some glue on stuff like the castle pieces. Not everywhere, but there's a couple of spots where I had to use glue to hold things in. Okay, this is going to go on top. And just carefully, we'll go down the line here and insert each of these into their, into their holes without removing the last one. It's relatively sturdy, and it's pretty lightweight material. I think Folded Space did a pretty good job with choosing this material as its preferred method, because it's really quite flexible. I mean, and it's while still being sturdy enough that you can put a considerable amount of pressure on it without it feeling like it's gonna crack on you. Alright, just run some white glue on the edges. Oops, a little too much. Let's clean that up a little bit. And whoops, let's go up. Okay. Ooh, got some glue on my hands already. Squeeze down a little bit here and wipe off the excess. Okay, that worked out pretty well. Alright, let's sit it on top of the game box, just like the other one, and we'll use that pressure to hold it down with the giant blocks. So that tray is 1A and 1B, identical. Now tray 2, sheet 1, so we need this one piece here. Okay, and then sheet B1, so we're on to the other one now. And we are going to need, let's see here. Okay, we need these two pieces. Oops. Come on. Out. Woo. Okay. So we're gonna need those. This is this little piece garbage. That little piece is garbage. We're gonna need the thing below it, but not the next one. And then we're gonna need this part here. So I think that is everything we need. Okay. Now let's see if this one's going to be as easy to assemble. These come off. I need the large piece. Oh, I see. It wants both of those. It doesn't specify two, but it kind of says there's two different trays. So we need the one from both. This one as well. Come on, come on. Okay, there we go. All right. So this one might need a little more glue because it's going in there. I'm just gonna put a little bit. I'm not sure where this is going 100%, so let's stick some glue in there to be sure. And we'll do this side as well. I'm really hoping these aren't lids that I'm gluing shut. Okay, so I've got that. Step 2 is to take these 4 things, which are not all the same. Okay, I see there's 2 inner ones. Okay. I think I'm going to have to glue those bits. I should leave this sideways so the glue is ready. Here we go, glue. Oops, a little too much. Oh no! Collapse. Okay, all right. That's one. I'm going to put a little bit here just in case. Okay, wow, this whole thing doesn't want to stay together. Again, the white glue dries a lot slower than other glues. Okay, that was being a little bit of a pain. I think I got it in now. And then the sides, and then these ones on top. So the sides, we'll need some glue around these edges. And let's see, oops. It's already kind of coming off a bit. All right, and you go in here. Smush. Remove some excess. I mean, that is the benefit of the white glue. You're not dealing with the sticky strings like you do in hot glue. And it's easier just to wipe up while it's still not quite dry yet. Because technically I could put more glue along this edge, for example. I don't know if that would hold it more. Trying to be a little bit minimalistic with the glue as I can. I don't think it needs a ton. I don't want it looking sloppy. Okay, that's pretty good. And then lastly, these ones fit together in the middle. So let's sandwich these two together. And, ooh. What's too much going in there? Spread it around a bit. Oh, it's all slippery because of the two pieces are so smooth. Alright, and that is going in between these ones. Okay. Seems a little loose. I guess that's normal. I'm getting glue on myself. Alright, so I think we are together now. It's not the tightest thing. It's looking pretty good. Okay, let's just sit this over here to dry. And finished tray. Great. Alright, next 3 and 3B. So these two are going to be the same. So first one, punch out. Just go here. All this mess here. Not that little piece yet. Let's not do the other one yet. So let's do one at a time. Oh, I think that's all we need. Okay. So remove all these little bits. Okay, and we are looking at, is this symmetrical? I think that's symmetrical. These are not symmetrical though. So we have some short probably these are middle divisors and some long ones. Gotta make sure gotta make sure they're on the right side. Okay. Alright, I think I'm good to get going here. You know, I'm just going to do this. So, front of here. And bottom of here and here. Okay, nice, nice, nice. And then front of here. And then the bottom along here. Oops, that came out fast. Where's my wiping Kleenex to remove excess? And that's going to go in right here. Okay. Just a little bit on the inside, a little much. I think that's fine. I don't think the tolerances are that close. Okay, so that's first piece. And then that one goes in the middle. And these are on the outside with the cut on this edge. So yeah, I don't think these would hold together without the glue. I think they're just too loose. Not that they're not well made, but they're just a little bit too loose to hold together without glue. It's got the joy of working on Gundam models, which I haven't done in a long time, but gonna get into it because my son was building them. And I tell you, the Japanese instruction books, even though they're not English, are so incredibly precise that you really don't need to know Japanese in order to assemble a Gundam. They're so exacting and so perfect in kind of how they're done. It's actually kind of refreshing. Alright, you go in there. Cut off the excess so there's no globs getting in the way. Alright, now this one, I don't want this one to move, so he's going to get glued on the sides and along the bottom. Don't want to do too much. Okay, and then same for this guy is a divider across the middle. Ah, okay. There we go. I'll leave this over here to dry and work on the next one. What am I looking at here? Nope, this piece. Okay. Alright, it's over here. So that was 3A. Now we're on to 3B. I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like this is not taking a very long time. Maybe it's just the act of just putting things together and crafting is kind of a nice way to spend a little bit of time. They're not too time consuming, and it's kind of soothing in a way. It's like when people get into model painting and stuff, you know, or Gundam building, for example, or whatever. It's just a way to wind down, you know, have something that you've kind of created afterwards that you can enjoy. I guess puzzles are like that too. And I mean, really, when you come down to it, solo board gaming, which I mean is what most of my channel is about, is all about, you know, enjoying a hobby you love. Alright, so that one's done. Now, let's make on the other sides here. That's here, and then these two are in the middle. The small end goes over there. Okay. Don't want to make a mistake. Although again, with the white glue, I think if you make a mistake, you can probably just, like, by the time you catch it, you'll still be able to pull it apart and either wipe the glue off or just reposition it to where it needs to be. This goes here. And now for the middle. Oops. I'd love to see if someone has stress tested one of these things. You know, like actually stress tested, like put a bunch of components in them and taken it in and out of the box several times to see if it will hold the components without falling apart. Okay, I'm curious whether anybody's done that. I mean, it'd be so hard to test accurately, you know, if I was to do that, because, like, you could argue, you know, there was too much components in there, or maybe I didn't glue it as effectively, or I didn't use the right kind of glue. You know, there's too many arguments that could be made, so I don't really want to do it. I mean, maybe if Folded Space sent me a bunch of organizers, I would run some stress tests and, you know, make a video of it. Folded Space, you know, let me know. All right, so I think this one is done. And tray 4. So one of those, actually both pieces. And that is done. And then from here we need, whoops. Okay, we need this part. But not that part. It's kind of all connected. It's a little challenging, but that's fine. So that, and these two, and then the last tray we'll use those pieces. Okay, great. So that is everything I need for this tray. And then let's see here. So we have nubbin in the middle, nubbin on one side, larger nubbin on one side. We have nubbin on that side. This one over here. And then these two are going to go together. Oh, okay. And then little one here. Big one over here. They both look pretty small. Okay. Okay, well, let's see what that does. Is this in the middle? Does it look in the middle to you? Can't tell which side this would be on. So it's, let's see, 4 centimeters, 4.5 centimeters. Actually, not even 4. It lies. Which one is it? It looks like it's supposed to be short side is over here. Short side? Okay, it could definitely be more specific in this case because it is not very close here. So I'm just going to dry fit this so we know. These two go here. And then this one goes here. Doesn't really make sense. And the little tiny one goes here. Like what fits in there that takes up those spaces? Is there a picture? Where'd my picture go? It's not in the picture. Come on. Show me where it goes. Oh, I see. There's this thing here. Is that... No. Okay, it's on the top here. Next to the square and tiles. That's not it. This is not the same thing. Hold its base. Come on. Leave me hanging here. So this is tray 4, which is what I'm building now. Plaza, action, and bridge tiles. Plaza, action, and bridge tiles. Which one of those again? Plaza, action, and bridge tiles. For these guys? Oh, plaza. So these are the plazas. I guess there's too many of them to fit in. Action and bridge tiles. Okay, they need to do a better job with explaining where things go. So this does look like it is offset. Okay, I think looking like this picture, I think it's a little more clear which way this goes. So I think I have the right thing here. I just need to assemble it that way. Okay, so this is inwards. I think I'm going to have to look online for a picture of how this actually goes together. I guess it wouldn't be a proper review if I didn't show the finished product all together. Okay, and then okay, this goes here. Glue. Glue, I know what to do with. Oh wait, I didn't do these sides to help hold the whole thing together. Put some glue in there too. Okay, it's coming out a little bit, that's fine. Alright, so that's in. Now these 3 are all the same, but those 2 came together. So let's attach these together. and solidify that bond in here and along the bottom and along those edges. Okay. So I'm just going to sit there like that. Coming into the middle. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. And the little weird one, which I don't really get how they have this organized, but we'll figure that out. Okay, and the last little bit over there. I may have to let this dry for a while before I start putting components in, because I feel like I'm gonna get the components all stuck to the insides. All right, so that's fish tray. Okay, this is tray 4. Tray 5 is the rest. So it's all these bits. And this bit up here. And I think we're done with that. I think if you made a lot of these, you'd probably get more used to their organizational method. That leaves a little bit lacking. Okay. These line up. They're symmetrical. They're symmetrical. So those go like that. And then the 3 go out of the 2 sides and in the middle. And these are also symmetrical. And then this goes through the middle. That makes a little cross. Okay. I think I got it. Good. I think this is going to be easier than the last one just because it's a little more straightforward. Okay, and then the sides. Those are symmetrical, and it's clear that's symmetrical. A little bit on the edge here. All right, almost done, almost done. Okay, that's good. Now comes this middle one. Perfect. Okay. And then the line goes across. Okay. And in here. Perfect. Nice little square. With the excess. And when I'm done, let's clean the glue cap here so the glue doesn't get stuck. Okay. So let's see all together. We have two of these little trays. We have this one. And we have this one. Within the cathedral and hunger walls. Okay. The bridge is placed on top of the cathedral and hunger wall stands. The boards and player boards in this game are complex, so please check our site product page to see how they fit together in the box. Well, we are going to be going off of their box here, so let's see if we can put everything in here. No, it's not quite dry yet, but let's give it a best shot here. So, we're getting all the components out. I do have the print and play advanced solo cards, which are highly recommended. They're still not a full AI. They just provide like a blocking mechanism, but it works really well. So I'm guessing, does the player board go on top? Yeah, I think it does in this case. Yeah, this is what it means by complex. So there's all these little dials and things. Out. There's the bridge. And these I do not glue because you can remove these and flip them around, which is pretty cool for variety. And there's central board. Oh, I forgot. Okay, I forgot there was two more. These ones are done being sandwiched. Okay, so there is more to it. And I know someone's probably online watching this saying, "You forgot the ones underneath." Yes, I did forget. That is entirely my fault. So let's see here. It looks like we can put Arrow 1 and Arrow 2 tiles in their own separate things, which is kind of exciting because right now everything is jammed in together and it's a little annoying. So two ones. I try to keep them organized in the bags. So there's twos. Ones. Oop, S1. Oh no, am I gonna have to check them all for S1s and ones? Yep. Oh yeah, okay, these might get put back perfectly. S1, 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay, number 9. Maybe they mostly got back. So let's see how this is sorted here. I think they're like this. So we'll do 1 and 2. And they're in flat. So ones. Nope, that's not all of them. There's more. 2, S1, 1, 1, 1, 1. two. Okay. All right, so there's 4 tiles in each of the S's. Woo, it's a tight fit. Oh, there we go. Slides right in. And then the ones. There we go. There we go. Look at that go in there. 2 S's. If I rotate one of those to the top, you'll be able to see from the outside that it is the Air 2s. Oh yeah, look at that. So they're slanted, so they fit in, but that is kind of perfect. Now where are the castles? Castles. Twos. Like, I did try to keep these organized in the bags, but you see, this is why I wanted to get some sort of organizer, just to make this sorting process, you know, which you kind of have to do at the end of a game, and just make that a little bit more streamlined and easier to set up for the next game. I'm a big fan of faster it is to table a game, the less reason you have to not play it. Right, and I think it's a good lesson for all board gamers. I think that's kind of how I live my board gaming hobby, is if I get to the table faster, then there's less reason to not play it. Now, of course, you know, there's definitely some very large, very complex games. That doesn't mean it's hard to get to the table, per se. It just, I want to try to have them as organized as possible, so that when I'm playing a big game, like, you know, it's like I know, you know, I spend as little time as possible getting things sorted. And I'll definitely have some tips for that, probably in a future video. I think that's what I've been meaning to do for a long time now, is how I have my games organized. And I've definitely learned a lot from the years of running a big board game meetup, kind of pre, you know, everything happening in the world. You know, I definitely learned a lot about packing games in, you know, efficient manner, so I can get them out, get them tabled, you know, teach them, and then move on to the next group. Or if I'm, you know, playing that game, you know, get into the teach and get into the game, because there's always people coming and going. Okay, there we go. So these are all in. Oh, look at that. Thing of beauty. Everything is nicely in here, angled. You can see what it is. You can just pull them straight from compartments. Lovely. I think we are doing player pieces in this little rectangle. I don't know what's in the other ones. So this is where I'm going to have to look at this thing. So tray 3B, according to this. Bonus and window tokens. So 3B is one of these guys. Bonus and window tokens. I think it means these. I wish they showed pictures of bonus. Oh, no, maybe it's those little tiny tokens? Those are bonuses. Okay, let's come back to that one, maybe. Okay, I do know that this square has player pieces. So currently I have everything bagged separately for players, which kind of like, at least fit in here. sort of. I know this is kind of blasphemy for a good organizer, but oops, it's coming apart. Okay, maybe I won't put that one in too closely because it's still a little damp. It's holding not so well together. So let's wait on that one a bit. Okay, tray 2. Okay, here's the big fancy one here. Tray 2 is going to hold technology and alternate cathedral. Okay, so here's the alternate cathedral stuff. So these ones go on top. Alternate cathedral. / hunger wall tiles. Not this is the alternate bridge, it's alternate cathedral. I'm guessing the alternate bridge probably go on the bridge. Which, oh no, those are not bridge. Okay, so they do go in here. They just slide in somewhere, I guess. Okay, sure, that works. And technology, so that's these books. Which I believe there are 4 types. 1, 2, 3. Is there 4? Yeah, there's 4. Okay. Kind of made a bit of a mess pulling these apart. 1, 1, 1, 3, 4. These technology tiles are a lot of fun in the game because they can do some pretty game-breaking stuff. Alright, so I think going like this. Do you want glue for them to get stuck on? No? Maybe down at the bottom here? No, it's dry already. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. Done. Okay, these ones are alternate road. Alright, what can I do next? Oh yeah, okay, let's take one of these guys. So this has eggs, although, let's see. It has these road bonuses. Where are the little tiles? Looks like the cubes. And these little things are all in here. Okay. And then eggs, which I have the realistic eggs, which my game just came with. You know, which are nicer than the other ones. So those go in there. Maybe I tuck them in these scoring ones, because these do overlay the road later. Okay, so building structure technology, alternate cathedral hunger wall tiles. Done. 3A. 3A. Okay, here we go. So this guy. King's Row tiles. That's gotta be these now. King's Row tiles. Oh, egg tokens. Oh, no, that's these. Egg tokens, production tiles of 5-point tokens. Okay, that's in cubes. Okay, so that's done. 3B. Bonus. And Windows tokens. So are these? No, these are not bonus. These are. Pleasant Action Bridge Tiles. Where's tray 4? Tray 4. Okay, so the weird shaped one is Plaza, Action, and Bridge Tiles. So the question will be, how do those all fit in together? Because there's no picture here. So presumably these go here because they just kind of fit there. Plaza. Bridge. These are the ones I don't know how. Pleasant Action Bridge Tiles. Yeah, I don't get it. Like that. Oh, it doesn't make sense to me. And then what's in the other one? 3B. 3 is King's Road Tiles, Egg Tokens. Yeah, so it's the same as the picture. King's Road Tiles. Egg Tokens in little bits. 3B is bonus. No, sorry. 3B. 3B is bonus and window tokens. That's gotta be these. And window tokens. So that means I somehow have to fit these guys in here, which does not make sense. I mean, I guess they can go like that, but then how do these go in? Side by side. Okay. You know what? I think I figured it out. Ha. Okay. So the windows in the big compartments, and then these guys will separate. To the big ones at the bottom. It's definitely taking a lot longer than I thought it would to sort, but we're almost there. Okay, and then the color pieces, sure, why not? Instead of trying to jam them in, let's just debag. Now I still have the other egg tokens, the cardboard ones, so maybe I'll find somewhere to just jam those. Okay, so those are done. And now we gotta figure out how everything goes in the box. Oh yeah. Okay, bottom. So it shows a picture of the castles, but it shows them both being the same pointy castles, which is not what they're like. So we'll try that. So that, here, let's put this front and center here. Okay, so just put them down here. And then tray 2 apparently will fit up here. Maybe if I stagger them a little bit. Tray 2 will fit here. Oh, okay, only just. Okay, okay. I still have the tops of the castles too, because those don't fit in the box with them assembled. Okay, so that goes there. And then one of these goes here. Okay, and then we've got these two token trays like so. This one down. Oh, it's fitting. It's fitting. I might put the player bits at the bottom so that they are less likely to slide around. Oh, look at this. Oh, everything's going. Okay. And then the bridge goes over the middle like this. Or something. I don't think it's ever going to fit perfectly. Actually, the bridge can just go sideways. Although it does want a place for the player boards, so maybe it... No, there's no way it's going to fit down in there and not, and still fit everything else. So maybe they are wrong. Maybe they're not. Maybe it's Maybelline. How do they have it? They have it going... Oh, theirs literally goes over like that. Okay. Alright. It's fine. So that means those ones come later. I'm going to stick these down here. And those over here. And player boards. So there's some like lift in here. So maybe that's for these guys. There's definitely some lift. So maybe these are supposed to be placed elsewhere. Likely I am butchering this because I'm not looking at the instructions. But I think I'm going to have to look at the instructions for the rest of this. Either way, I'm quite happy with how... Oh, there's a gap in here. Oh, cards? Nope. I don't know what goes in that gap. Expansion, maybe? Anyways, well, that is Folded Space. Everything looks relatively tight. I'm hoping some things fit on top of here. Actually, what's underneath it? No, you know what? Oh, I messed it up. These are... Oh, let's come out. Supposed to switch those things around. So there's a small box and a big box on each side. There we go. Now it's level. Minus the player boards, of course. But I will have to figure out how all this goes in. Hopefully there's a place for these guys somewhere. Probably in here. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this. It's working pretty good. You know, assuming I can get the player boards and everything in as well. And it'll be a great storage solution that keeps everything hopefully locked in so that if the box shifts, stuff doesn't slide around. That's always my biggest worry with inserts like these, is what happens if the box shifts. But presumably if everything is flat, then that means that it will be okay. And nothing will slide out as long as the box is on, lid is on tight. So here's something that works. Assembly was relatively straightforward and easy. It wasn't the fastest thing. Probably sorting it took longer than it should have, and I apologize for that. But everything is in its place. It is relatively neat. This is another kind of game where there's a lot of small resources that you're pulling from, so the trays and things don't have to be too terribly usable during the game. It's more to facilitate setup. And for that, I think it will do quite a good job. Overall, I'm quite happy, especially like these tile trays will keep everything far more organized, and of course much easier to set up because of that. So, I look forward and see what else comes with Folded Space, and I might start looking around my collection and see if there's anything else that could use a Folded Space treatment. I'm thinking Bitoku might be a good one for that, or a Maracaibo or something. But anyways, I am Will. This is Cardboard Minute. If you want to see another video about my organizational method, because this is very different from what I normally do, please comment in the section below. And of course, please like and subscribe. I'm absolutely thrilled to just recently hit 500 viewers, or 500 subscribers. And I'm stoked because I just love sharing, the board gaming hobby world with you guys, and interacting with people. And it's something that and not only am I passionate about, but it's a hobby I love deeply, and all the people in and around it. And I'm excited to see more and do more. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.